You doomed yourself by coming here. You know that, don't you? Tear you asunder! Tear you asunder!
He's gone! He's gone! He's gone! But nothing's happening. Seems the mad architect's destruction did not allow us to step from this plane. Unfortunate, but we'll have to make He mastered this place. He mastered the Daedra somehow. Perhaps we can do the same.
But what do we do? Where do we go?
We can't stay here. We can't like this.
I'll figure something out. I always do.
Prices have never been better.
we go. And up we go. Hold! Speak to me before entering walls. Speak to me before entering walls. Lady Arabelle's assistant? How good to see you again.
Arabelle's
but I don't
assistant?
remember your name
How
on
good
my
to see
schedule
you again.
today.
But I
Did
don't
we have an
remember your
appointment?
name on
my schedule today? Did we have an appointment? Do tell. Well, go ahead. After
Do
everything
tell.
you've done for the
Well,
people
go
of the
ahead.
archipelago,
After everything
you've
you've
earned the
done for
right
the
to be
people of
direct
the
with me.
archipelago.
You've earned the right to be direct
Lady
with me.
Arabelle poisoned? Is she all right?
Lady Arabelle poisoned?
But what was that about wine?
Is she all right? I haven't placed any
But what
orders
was that
recently.
about wine?
Not while the
I haven't
castle is
placed
still
any
in
orders
disrepair.
recently.
And
Not
I
while the
haven't
castle
appointed
is
a new
still in
seneschal
disrepair.
since that trouble with
And I
Steward
haven't
Hersey.
appointed a new seneschal since that trouble with Steward Hersey.
Again? I thought my knights ran them off after that
Again?
terrible business
I
with
thought
my
my
brother.
knights ran them
Thank
off
you for
after
bringing
that
me the
terrible
news.
business with
I'll
my
send a
brother.
battalion to
Thank
deal
you
with
for
them
bringing
right
me the
away.
news. I'll send
I
a
know.
battalion to deal with
Did
them
he?
right away.
Well, I want the
I know.
Ascendant Lord brought
Did
to
he?
justice.
Well,
the
I
same
want
as
the
you.
Ascendant Lord brought to
That
justice.
wine that
the
poisoned
same
Lady
as you.
Arabelle. Was
That
it a
wine that
Dufort
poisoned
singular
Lady
amber?
Arabelle.
Vintage
Was it a
571?
Dufort singular amber?
I received a
Vintage
similar gift this morning.
571?
It's in the
I
Knight
received a
Commander's
similar
private
gift
chamber.
this morning.
It's in the Knight Commander's private chamber. The Knight Commander insisted that the anonymous gift be tested before I consumed so much as a drop.
gift be tested
It's in her private chamber,
so much as a
waiting
drop.
for one of my
It's in
handmaidens
her
to come
private
by and
chamber,
taste it.
waiting for one of
Feel
my
free to
handmaidens
perform
to
your
come by
own
and taste it.
investigation. Feel free to perform your own investigation. There's not much to say. It arrived without fanfare.
There's not much
with an
to say.
anonymous note.
It arrived without
The
fanfare,
vintage was my
with an
father's
anonymous
favorite.
note.
He was
The
still
vintage
new
was
to
my
his role
father's
as Duke
favorite.
when the vineyard
He
turned
was
out
still
those
new to
precious
his role
bottles.
as Duke when the vineyard turned
We
out those
depleted our own
precious
stores of
bottles.
that vintage a long time ago.
We depleted our own
But
stores of
everyone
that
at court
vintage a
knows
long
I was
time
fond
ago.
of that wine.
But everyone
We
at
opened a
court
bottle
knows I
once
was
a
fond
year
of
to
that
celebrate
wine.
my father and the
We opened a
elevation of
bottle
House
once a
Dufort.
year to celebrate my
I
father
was
and
quite
the
sad
elevation
when we
of House
uncorked the
Dufort.
last one. I was quite sad when we uncorked the last one. What do you think? Did someone send me the same gift that
What do you
poisoned
think?
poor Lady Arabelle?
Did someone send me the same gift that poisoned poor Lady Arabelle?
As we discussed, and you no doubt noticed,
As
the
we
letter was
discussed,
unsigned.
and you no doubt noticed.
My Knight Commander
The letter
insisted
was
on having
unsigned.
someone else taste
My
the
Knight
wine
Commander
before she would
insisted on
allow
having
any
someone
to
else
pass
taste
my
the
lips.
wine before she would
I'm
allow
just glad
any
you
to
arrived
pass my
before that
lips.
happened.
I'm just glad you arrived before that happened.
Hold on. Earlier you mentioned that the shopkeep claimed
on.
that my seneschal
Earlier
placed
you
the order
mentioned
for
that
a
the
large
shopkeep
amount of
claimed
wine.
that my seneschal
While we
placed an
did no
order
such
for a
thing,
large amount of
one of my
wine.
sentries
While
informed
we
me that
did
a
no such
courier had
thing,
arrived with an
one of my
unscheduled
sentries informed
delivery.
me that a courier had arrived with an unscheduled
Then your
delivery.
answer may be right outside. I told the
Then
sentry
your
to have
answer
them
may be
wait by
right
the
outside.
jousting tents until I
told
was
the
ready to
sentry
deal
have
with the
them wait
mix-up.
by the jousting tents
Talk to
until
the
I was
courier
ready to
and
deal with
find
the
out who
mix-up.
hired them to
Talk
deliver
to
the
the
incriminating
courier and
bottles of
find out
wine
who
to my
hired them
castle.
to deliver the incriminating bottles of wine
Someone
to my
has gone to
castle.
a lot of trouble to try and remove both myself
has gone
and
to a
Lady
lot of
Arabelle
trouble
from
to
the
try and
table,
remove both
while
myself
also
and
focusing
Lady
the blame
Arabelle
for this
from the
all on
table,
me.
while
Speak
also
to the
focusing
courier
the blame
and
for
get
this
some
all on me.
answers, or
Speak
I
to the
will.
courier and get some answers, or I will.
To sow confusion and weaken House Dufort, of course.
To sow confusion
and to
and
further
weaken
delay
House
the peace
Dufort, of
talks.
course.
Perhaps even
And to
scuttle
further
them
delay the
completely.
peace talks.
I have
Perhaps
political
even
rivals,
scuttle them
but none who
completely.
would stoop to
I
murder.
have political rivals,
If I had
but
to guess,
none who would stoop to
this
murder.
is the. I fear
If I
we'll
had to
find the
guess,
Ascendant Lord's
this is
hand
the-
on the tiller
I
of
fear
most
we'll
of the
find
recent
the
events that
Ascendant
have
Lord's
plagued the
hand on the tiller
archipelago.
of most of the
Call it
recent
a
events that
feeling
have
deep in
plagued
my
the
bones.
archipelago.
In the
Call it a
meantime,
feeling
talk
deep
to
in
this
my
courier and
bones.
see what they
In
reveal
the
about whoever
meantime,
hired
talk
them.
to this courier and see what they reveal about whoever hired them.
Are you from the castle? Can I finally make my delivery and be done with this damn job? Can I finally make my delivery and be done with this damn job? No. Some hooded figures hired me to take some crates to an isolated spot up north. That's where I met another hooded figure. He helped unload my wagon, gave me the crates for Castle Navir, and told me to make the delivery. No names, just enough gold to make me not want to ask any questions. You did hear me say we were in an isolated location, right? You did hear me say we were in an isolated location, right? They were definitely wearing armor under their hooded cloaks. They were night armor. Definitely wearing armor under their hooded cloaks. Night armor. Right below the cliffs of Garrick's Rest. Look, I know how
Right
all
below
this
the cliffs of
sounds.
Garrick's
but I
Rest.
needed this
Look, I
job.
know how all this
Courier work
sounds.
has been hard to
I
come by
needed
since
this
the
job.
trouble here and
Courier work has
Galen.
been hard to
All I
come
know
by
is
since
I
the trouble
delivered one
here
set of
and
crates
Galen.
and received
All I
another
know
for
is I
Navir.
delivered
one set of crates and received another for Navir.
Pipeclaw! Zaji has found you! Pipeclaw! Zaji has found you! Lady Arabelle wasn't improving, so Zaji went to find Druid Ravana. Do not worry, Pipeclaw. Casca stands guard at Mandrake Manor. Instead of giving this one more medicine, Ravana sent me to find it. Druid Ravana wants you to come to her workshop right away. Do you know where it is? Just west of Gonfalon Bay and north of Druid's Gate. Just west of Gonfalon Bay. Remind her that Lady Arabelle still needs the antidote. Remind her that Lady Arabelle still needs the antidote. That makes Zaji feel much better. It was good to get out of the manor and do something. All this waiting makes Zaji get out of the manor and do something. This one will head back to the manor and make sure Lady Arabelle is taking her tincture. Head back to the manor and make sure Lady Arabelle is taking her tincture.
Ah, there you are. I hope you've had more success than I, my friend. I hope you've had more success than I, my friend. I thought that I'd be able to replicate an antidote using some of the old recipes in my ancient herbal apothecary. But nothing I've concocted thus far has worked. But this poison is proving very resistant to our tried and true elixirs. That's just it. I identified the various plants. That's just root, stem, and leaf. I identified the various plants. But they aren't those plants. Root, stem, and not leaf. Exactly. But they aren't those plants. Not exactly. Neither did I. At least not at first. But after careful study, at least not at first, I can see that someone with extensive agricultural knowledge created new and more potent versions of the rare plants used to prepare the poison. Oh, did you discover who sent the wine? Oh, did you discover who sent the wine? Garrick's Rest. Strange magic saturates the wildlife around those ruins. Strange magic saturates the wildlife around those ruins. That's the source of the poison. I'll need samples to craft an antidote. Meet me there. I'll need samples to craft an antidote. I fear we could be dealing with another rogue druid. And a powerful one at that. Another rogue druid. And a powerful one at that. We'll need to proceed carefully once we get to Garrick's Rest. If we are dealing with a powerful druid, we won't be able to avoid them for long. Powerful druid. We won't be able to avoid them for long. That sounds like the Ascendant Order. But only a skilled druid could alter plants and create this vile poison. We know they worked with the Eldertide Circle before. We know they still have some druid allies assisting them. Maybe they still have some druid allies assisting them. The tincture I provided will slow the poison's spread, but it won't hold off the inevitable forever. She should be all right for a while longer, but I do recommend we hurry. She should be all right for a while longer. Once I have a sample of the plants, I know I can craft an antidote. Once I have a sample of the plants, I know I can craft an antidote.
Like me mom used to say. Yeah. Like me mom used to say. Yeah.
Friend, look. It appears something heavy was dragged up and down this hill recently. Something heavy was dragged up and down this hill recently. A door. That's definitely where whatever made the marks came from. That's definitely where whatever made the marks came from. Be careful. I don't think we're alone down here. Be careful. I don't think we're alone down here. Ascendant Order has been hiding here for a while. Lord Bakaro was right to be concerned. Lord Bakaro was right to be concerned.
Is it over?
Look at that pile of paper. Take a look at the Ascendant Lord is recruiting disillusioned druids after the events on Galen. Disillusioned druids after the events on Galen.
My magic will destroy you! My magic will destroy you!
Those must be the crates the courier delivered. Check the labels. Those must be the crates the courier delivered. Check the labels. Those were intended for Steadfast Manor. Why deliver them here? Those were intended for Steadfast Manor. See what's inside the open. Why deliver them here? See what's inside the open one.
Nicely done! Nicely done!
Look, over on that table. Look, over on that table. The Ascendant Lord gave clear orders to this druid alchemist. The Ascendant Lord we need to find that garden. To this druid alchemist. We need to find that garden. We didn't expect the Ascendant Order to wither away. But we know that the Ascendant to wither away. We know that the Ascendant and See if the key we found will unlock it. That door. See if the key we found will unlock it. A Druid Alchemist's Workshop. Let's look around. Druid Alchemist's Workshop. Let's look around.
Intruders? Here's how we deal with pests in my garden. Here's how we deal with pests in my garden.
That's what I was looking for. With these, I should be able to craft an antidote. Looking for. With these, what did you find over there? I should be able to craft an antidote. What did you find over there? I gathered enough of the plant to craft an antidote for Lady Arabelle. I gathered
She will
enough
soon
of the
be on
plant
her
to
way
craft
to a
an
full
antidote
recovery.
for Lady Arabelle. Did you find
She will
anything
soon be
interesting
on her
in the
way to
Druid
a
ritual
full
box?
recovery.
Did you find anything interesting in the Druid ritual box? That's a shard of the green. I've never seen an intact one before. Shard of the green. Long ago, druids used them to protect sacred locations. Long ago, the practice withered like leaves. Now, the practice withered like leaves. Now,
Let's go fast. Let's go fast.
That will be all, Sentry. But what's this? A druid and Lady Arabelle's assistant. But what's
Forgive
this?
the intrusion,
A
Captain.
druid and Lady
My
Arabelle's
friends
What brings a
assistant.
druid and Lady Arabelle's
the
most
intrusion,
trusted
Captain.
assistant to
My
Steadfast
friends
What brings a
assistant.
druid and Lady
I'm afraid Lord
Arabelle's
Bacaro
most
is still on
trusted
Galen
assistant
leading
to
the relief
Steadfast
efforts
Manor?
there.
Is
I'm
there
afraid Lord
something I can
Bacaro
help
is
you
still
with?
on Galen leading the relief efforts there.
Is there something I can help you with? Interesting. You say you found claiming. Take this. Interesting.
The Society of the
You say you
Steadfast's
found
primary
claiming.
charter involves
Take
providing
this.
relief. The Society
Not
of the
official.
Steadfast's primary charter involves providing relief. Not official.
That empty sconce. See the druid symbols carved into it? That empty Check if the shard fits into the socket. See the druid symbols carved into it? Check if the shard fits into the socket. Just as I suspected, a hidden door. Let's see what other secrets this manor is hiding. A hidden door. Let's see what other secrets this manor is hiding. A passage leading deeper beneath the manor. Let's see what Lord Bacaro is hiding down here. Beneath the manor. Let's see what Lord Bacaro is hiding down here. A druid circle. And an ancient one by the big mistake. I want to get a closer. And an ancient one by the big mistake. I want to get a closer. Guard locations such as this. Be careful. Spirits often guard locations such as this. Be careful. These creatures were summoned to protect this place. There's more creatures were summoned to protect this more place. Often than not. There's more of them somewhere. More often than not. Down there. Let's get a closer look. Down there. Let's get a closer look. Those carvings. Definitely druidic. Those carvings. Definitely druidic. armor. It looks just like the Ascendant Lord, doesn't it? Armor. It looks just like the Ascendant Lord, doesn't it? What's the connection here? Why does the Ascendant Order care about this place here? And why does Lord Bacaro have a suit of the Ascendant Lord's armor? And why does Lord Bacaro have a suit of the Ascendant Lord's armor? What? But Lord Bacaro is a man of peace. Why secretly control the very order of rogue knights that are actively trying to destroy everything he's worked for? Order of rogue knights that are actively trying to destroy everything he's worked for. I don't understand. So he helped foster the conflicts on Galen, then stepped in to help with Steadfast after the dust settled on Galen, then all while making alliances with the victors after the dust settled. But his plans failed. Alliances with the victors. No new Druid King has been crowned. But his plans failed. No new Druid King has been crowned. Let me see that. Could this be accurate? Let me see that. Could Lord Bacaro be a direct descendant of Druid King Cassarain? Could Lord Bacaro be a direct descendant of Druid King Cassarain? The carvings. I think I know why this place is important to Lord Bacaro. I think examine the carvings. I'll explain what I see in them. Examine the carvings. I'll explain what I see in them. Do you see? That's a stylized rendition of the Ivy Throne with the Druid King's regalia. That's a stylized the crown, staff, and gauntlet below with the Druid King's carved above the throne. Staff, and that's the heraldry of House Mershad. Carved above the throne. That's the heraldry of House Mershad. So Lord Bacaro, the Ascendant Lord, believes he's descended from the last Druid King through his mother's bloodline. Believes he's descended from the last Druid King through his mother's bloodline. Lady Arabelle, drink this. It will neutralize the poison. We discovered the source of the poison, and it will neutralize the poison. Something more. We discovered the source of the poison. Our friend will tell you.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
More.
Tell me what you uncovered,
Our friend
dear.
will tell you.
I knew you wouldn't let me down. Tell me what you uncovered, dear. Ugh. Couldn't you have added a touch of cinnamon or honey to this, Ravana? Ugh. No matter. I assume I will be hale and hearty again before long. No matter. Now enough with this suspense. I will be hale Tell me what you've uncovered, dear. Now enough with this suspense. Tell me what you've uncovered, dear. The poison must have affected my hearing. Did you say Lord Baccara was the Ascendant Lord? How can that be? Lord Baccara He sponsored the peace talks. He started the Society of the Steadfast, which has done nothing but good for the archipelago and the mainland. The Steadfast, which has done nothing but good for the archipelago and the mainland. Looking at things from this perspective puts the delays and how the Ascendant Order has managed to stay one step ahead of us in a very different light. But why go through all this trouble? What is Lord Bacaro actually planning? But why go through all this trouble? What is Lord Bacaro I feel better already. Planning? Well done, dear Ravana. As for this business about the Druid King, I read the reports from Galen. As for this Some druids truly believe that the Ivy Throne would be an improvement over the Ruby one. Some druids truly believe that this chaos and murder improvement over the Ruby one. We've been hesitant for too long, unsure of where the next attack would come from. Now we know. It's coming from inside our circle, from someone now we considered an ally, coming from inside a friend. Our circle. Take this, my friend. We'll deal with Bacaro soon enough. Take this, my friend. We'll deal with Bacaro soon enough. I can't in good conscience start the peace talks while the Ascendant Lord, the man I knew as Lord Bacaro, is out there doing who knows what. I'm afraid I need your help again, my friend. We must keep the Druid King's regalia out of Bacaro's hands. We must keep the Druid King's regalia then we must out assume that Count Stefan and Druid Laurel are in danger. If Lord Bacaro truly believes he's the heir to the Ivy Throne of the Druids, he'll stop at nothing to get his way. We must go to Galen and defend the remaining regalia. To get his way. We must go to Galen and defend the remaining Druid Ravana and I will get Zaji to sail us to Galen. While we collect the staff from the Stone Lord's circle, I want you to go to Count Stefan and protect the Druid King's crown. We'll meet you at Castle Mornard as soon as we can. I'll leave Captains Colleen and Suzo to guard the Alliance leaders while we go to Galen. First we protect the regalia, then we stop Lord Bacaro, or the Ascendant Lord, or whatever he calls himself. Then we stop now, get to Vastir and protect the crown, Lord, or whatever he calls himself. Now, get to Vastir and protect the crown. I don't really know. I'm not an expert on Druidic law and prophecy. According to what you and Ravana discovered, Bacaro believes he's a direct descendant of Kasserine, the last Druid King. If he gains the regalia, he could make a claim for the title. If he gains the regalia, he could make a claim for the title. I never underestimate anything when it comes to religious fervor, my dear. If nothing else, his connection to this legacy gives him a legitimate claim to power through his mother's bloodline. His connection to this legacy gives him a because we don't know how far-reaching Bacara's conspiracy is. The Alliance leaders are safe inside the palace with their loyal captains watching over them. And we don't want them to hear of this betrayal yet. It would end the talks in a flash. And we don't want them to hear of this betrayal yet. It would end the talks in a flash.
I knew it. This was all the fault of those damn druids. I knew it. This was all the fault of that hero from the mainland.
I thought our troubles were over after all the death and destruction, but something worse is coming. I thought our troubles were over after all the death and destruction, but
like a dark storm on the
something worse is
horizon.
coming, Feda. I'm worried, Feda.
I feel it too, like a dark storm on the horizon.
Search the castle. If there are more rogue knights, I want them in chains.
We routed them from the library, but I'll make sure
chains.
nothing was damaged or stolen. We routed them from the library, but I'll make sure nothing was damaged or stolen.
I'm glad to see you again, friend. I just wish your arrival didn't coincide with another crisis. I'm glad to see you again, friend. I just wish your arrival didn't coincide with another crisis. A contingent of knights from the Society of the Steadfast entered the castle. Not in and of itself a contingent of knights from the Society of the Steadfast entered the castle. But we weren't informed of a visit. Not in and of itself. When one of my knights saw them go into the library, she went to investigate. But we weren't informed of a visit. When one of my knights saw them go into the library, she went to investigate. She discovered them ransacking the library. They attacked her, but she was able to fend them off and summon help. Them ransacking the library. My knights routed the villains, but attacked her, but we're unsure if anything was stolen, or if there are more of them hiding elsewhere in the castle. But we're unsure if anything was stolen, or if there are more of them hiding elsewhere in the castle. The Ascendant Order, the rogue knights that gave you trouble back on High Isle. What would they be seeking in my castle? The rogue knights that gave you trouble back on High Isle. Then those imposters must have been looking for the Druid King's crown. Come, we need to check the library at once. Imposters must have been looking I assumed it would be safe enough locked in a case in the library until I could make other arrangements. We had no reason to believe the relics were in danger. Locked in a case in the library. Besides, I only returned to the castle a moment before you arrived. We had no reason to believe the relics were in danger. Besides, I only returned to the castle a moment before you arrived. The docks preparing to receive Lord Baccaro's ship and the relief supplies he promised. It never arrived. The docks preparing to receive. I suppose that was all part of the ruse based on what you just told me. It never arrived. Now let's go make sure the crown. The library is part of the ruse based on what you just told me. Now, let's go make sure the crown... The library is this way. Damn their eyes, they ransacked the place. Let's see if the case is still here. Damn their eyes, they ransacked the place.
You're too late, fool. The crown belongs to the Ascendant Order now. You're too late, fool. The crown belongs to the Ascendant Order now.
No, the case is empty. But how did they know to search the library, let alone behind the shelf? They stole the crown right out of my own castle. How is this possible? They stole the crown right out of my own castle. I think you better tell me what you know. You said Lord Bacaro was behind this. I think you better tell me what you know. If you go back far enough, most Bretons have a druid hiding somewhere in their bloodline, but so many records have been lost. How can you be certain? Have a druid hiding regardless, why the ruse with the peace talks? So many records and the Ascendant Order. How can you be certain? Regardless, why the ruse with the peace talks and the Ascendant Order? So Bacaro was behind it all. The attempts on the lives of the Alliance leaders, the death of the Archdruids of Raval and my father. The attempts on the lives of the Alliance Druid leaders, Laurel. The death of the staff Laurel and Free are in danger. Wait, Druid Laurel may have believed in a new age. Laurel and Free are in danger. Bacaro is leading us toward the Green Scourge. Morlaith may have believed King Cassarane's prophecy of the return of the Druid King. Is leading us toward predicts two possibilities: either an era of peace and harmony, of the return of the Druid or a time of nature run amok. Either an era of peace and harmony. Go to Glimmertarn and make sure Laurel and the staff are safe. I'll gather what knights I can spare. Go to Glimmertarn. See if Captain Serene is willing to aid us once more. I'll gather I have a feeling we'll need all the help we can get to stop Bakaro and his ascendant order. Once more. I have a feeling we'll need all the help we can get to stop Bakaro. Sirvain is a mercenary, but she and her gilded blade proved themselves trustworthy against the dread sails and the fire Sirvain is a mercenary. Since then, we've been paying her to help with the relief efforts. Against the dread sails we needed every ship we could hire. Since then, we've been paying her to help with the relief efforts. We needed every ship we could hire. I won't know until I won't know until I...
Keeping myself busy here. Keeping myself busy here.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I'd say he's been through recently, but that scent's known to linger. I'd say he's been through recently, but that scent's known to linger.
Druidkin! Oh, thank Ifray you're here. Something terrible has happened.
Seeing this?
This way!
Incredible!
Druidkin! Oh, thank Ifray you're here.
Rotten
Something terrible has
damnation.
happened.
Seeing this?
Lord
Bacaro, he betrayed us!
Lord Bacaro and a
Rotten
contingent of
damnation.
steadfast knights
Lord
arrived with their
Bacaro, he
usual
betrayed
crates of
us.
supplies. He
Lord
took me
Bacaro
aside
and a contingent
warned
of
me,
steadfast
lied
knights
it all.
arrived with their usual
We
crates
tried
of
to
supplies.
resist,
He
but we
took
were
me
no match
aside,
for his knights.
warned me.
Then
Blighted all.
Bacaro displayed the regalia,
We tried to resist.
proclaimed himself
We were
the
no
Druid
match
King
for
and
his
commanded
knights.
free to follow him.
Then Bacaro displayed
They
the
did.
regalia.
That's when Lady
Proclaimed himself
Arabelle
the
arrived.
Druid King and commanded free
Wait.
to follow him.
Stefan, is he
And
all
they
right?
did. That's when Lady Arabelle arrived.
Wait.
Stefan,
As soon as I
is he all
explained what
right?
happened, Lady Arabelle and her companions went after Bacaro. I
As
told
soon
them
as
we
I
saw him
explained
leading
what
free
happened,
toward Ifray's
Lady
path.
Arabelle and her companions went
I
after
stayed behind to
Bacaro.
tend to the wounded.
I told them we saw him
This
leading
smacks
free
of the
toward
green
Ifray's
scourge.
path.
I'll go
I
with
stayed
you.
behind to tend to the wounded. But this smacks
How
of the
should I
green
know how that
scourge.
blighter thinks?
I'll go with you.
Lady Arabelle told me that he's the Ascendant Lord, which
How
now
should I
makes
know how
sense.
that blighter thinks?
As soon as he revealed his
Lady
treachery,
Arabelle
his
told me
knights
that he's
threw
the
off their
Ascendant
cloaks
Lord,
and revealed
which now
themselves to
makes
be the
sense.
Ascendant Order.
As soon as he revealed his
I'm
treachery,
not sure.
his knights threw off their cloaks
Other than
and revealed
Orlaith, no one else
themselves
has
to be
ever
the Ascendant
attempted to
Order.
claim the title. At
I'm
least
not
not to my
sure.
knowledge.
Other than
Is
Orlaith,
it
no one
enough
else
to
has
just
ever attempted to
possess the
claim the
regalia?
title. At
Is
least
that
not
why
to
he
my
needs
knowledge.
free? To
Is it
legitimize
enough
his
to just
claim?
possess the regalia?
I'm not sure.
Is that why
Still,
he needs free?
This is bad.
To legitimize his claim?
I'm not sure.
In every
Still,
way.
everything I
bad.
know tells me the Druid King can command nature. Wield it
In
like a
every
tool
way.
or a weapon.
Everything I know
If
tells
the title
me
is
the Druid
taken
King
by
can
force,
command nature.
the prophecy
Wield
tells
it
us it
like a
begins an
tool or a
age of
weapon.
destruction.
If the title
Green
is taken by
Scourge.
force, the prophecy tells us it begins an age of destruction. The Green Scourge.
It's from the dream of Kasserine, the prophecy of the Druid King. One choice, one
from the
will,
dream of
one
Kasserine,
binding word
the prophecy
shall
of the
bless
Druid
or
King.
scourge all
One
lands.
choice,
Since
one
those
will,
lines were carved
one
into the
binding
telling
word
stone,
shall
they've
bless
become the
or
basis
scourge
for
all
our two
lands.
possible futures.
Since those lines were carved into the telling stone, they've become
the
the
blessing
basis
of
for
the
our
green
two
reward,
possible futures.
or the curse of the green scourge. One ushers in
The blessing
the
of
Druids
the
have
green
argued
reward,
about that for
or the
generations.
curse of the Green Scourge.
From what you found at Ivyhain,
One ushers
it's
in
clear
the
Kasserine
Druids have
believed the
argued about
reward
that
would
for
come when the
generations.
circles reunited.
From what
and
you found at
selected a new
Ivyhain,
king.
it's clear
While a
Kasserine
usurper
believed the
would
reward
summon
would
the
come when the
scourge.
circles reunited,
A tyrant
and
like
selected a new
Bacaro.
king, while a usurper would summon the scourge. A tyrant like Bacaro.
How should I know how that blighter thinks? Lady Arabelle told me that he's the Ascendant Lord, which now
How should
makes
I
sense.
know how that blighter thinks?
As soon as he revealed his
Lady
treachery,
Arabelle
his
told me
knights
that
threw
he's the
off their
Ascendant
cloaks and
Lord,
revealed
which
themselves
now
to be
makes
the
sense.
Ascendant Order.
As soon as he revealed his treachery, his knights threw off their cloaks and revealed themselves to be the Ascendant Order.
I'm not sure. Other than Orlaith, no one else has ever attempted to claim the title. At least not to my
sure.
knowledge.
Other than
Is it
Orlaith, no
enough
one
to
else has
just
ever attempted
possess
to
the
claim the
regalia?
title. At
Is
least
that why
not
he
to my
needs
knowledge.
free? To
Is it
legitimize his
enough to
claim?
just possess the regalia?
I'm not sure.
Is that
Still,
why he needs free?
This is bad.
To legitimize his claim?
I'm not sure.
In every
Still,
way. This is
Everything
bad.
I know tells me the Druid King can command nature. Wield it
In
like a
every
tool
way.
or a weapon. Everything I know
If the
tells
title
me the
is
Druid
taken by
King can
force,
command nature.
the
prophecy
wield
tells us it
it like a
begins an
tool
age
or a
of
weapon.
destruction.
If the
The
title
Green
is taken by
Scourge.
force, the prophecy tells us it begins an age of destruction. The Green Scourge.
It's from the dream of Kasserine, the prophecy of the Druid King. One choice, one
It's
will,
from the dream of
one
Kasserine,
binding word
the prophecy
shall
of the
bless
Druid
or
King.
scourge all
One
lands.
choice,
Since
one
those
will,
lines were carved into
one
the telling
binding
stone,
word shall
they've become
bless
the
or
basis
scourge
for our
all
two
lands.
possible futures.
Since those lines were carved into the telling stone, they've become the basis for our two possible futures.
The blessing of the green reward, or the curse of the green scourge. One ushers in an age of
blessing
harmony
of the
with
green
nature.
reward,
The
or
other
curse
predicts
of
a
the green
world under
scourge.
siege by an angry
One
and
ushers in
vengeful
an
wilderness.
age of harmony with nature.
Two possibilities.
The other
The
predicts
Druids
a
have
world
argued
under
about
siege
that for
by an angry and
generations.
vengeful wilderness.
From what you found at Ivyhain,
Two
it's clear
possibilities. The
Kasserine
Druids have
believed the
argued about
reward
that
would
for
come when the
generations.
circles reunited.
From what
and
you found
selected
at
a new
Ivyhain,
king.
it's clear
While a
Kasserine
usurper
believed the
would
reward
summon
would
the
come when the
scourge.
circles
How should I
reunited
know how that
and
blighter
selected a new
thinks?
king.
Lady
While a
Arabelle told me that
usurper
he's the
would
Ascendant
summon the
Lord,
scourge.
which now
How
makes
should
sense.
I know how that blighter
Outsider, as soon as he revealed his treachery, his knights threw off their cloaks and revealed themselves to be the Ascendant Order. As soon as he revealed his treachery, his knights threw off their cloaks
I'm not
and revealed
sure.
themselves to be the
Other than
Ascendant Order.
Orlaith, no one else has ever attempted to claim the title. At least
I'm
not to my
sure.
knowledge.
Other than
Is it
Orlaith, no
enough
one
to
else
just
has ever
possess
attempted
the
to claim the
regalia?
title.
Is
At
that
least
why
not
he
to my
needs free?
knowledge.
To legitimize his
enough to
claim?
just possess the regalia?
I'm not sure.
Is that
Still,
why he needs free?
this is bad.
To legitimize his claim?
I'm not sure.
In every way.
Still, everything I
This
know
is
tells
bad.
me the Druid King can command nature. Wield it
In
like a
every
tool
way.
or a weapon. Everything I know
If the
tells
title
me
is
the Druid
taken by
King can
force,
command nature.
the prophecy tells
Wield
us it
like a
begins an
tool
age
or
of
a weapon.
destruction. If the
The
title
Green
is taken by
Scourge.
force, the prophecy tells us it begins an age of destruction. The Green Scourge.
It's from the dream of Cassarain, the prophecy of the Druid King. One choice, one
It's
will,
from the dream of
one
Cassarain,
binding word,
the prophecy
shall
of the
bless or
Druid
scourge
King.
all lands.
One choice,
Since those
one
lines
will,
were carved into
one
the telling
binding
stone,
word, shall
they've become the
bless or
basis for
scourge
our
all
two
lands.
possible futures. Since those lines were carved into the telling stone, the
They've
blessing
become
of the
the
green
basis for our
reward,
two possible
or the
futures.
curse of the green scourge. One ushers in an age
The
of
blessing
harmony
of the
with
green
nature.
reward,
The
or
other
the curse
predicts
of
a
the
world
green
under
scourge.
siege by an angry and
One ushers
vengeful
in an
wilderness.
age of harmony with nature.
Two possibilities.
The other predicts a world
One
under
Druid
siege
King.
by an angry and vengeful wilderness. Two possibilities.
The Druids have
One
argued
Druid
about
King.
that for generations. From what you found at Ivyheim, it's clear Cassarain
Druids
believed
have
the
argued
reward
about
would
that for
come when the circles
generations.
reunited.
From
and
what you
selected
found
a
at
new
Ivyheim,
king.
it's clear
While a
Cassarain
usurper
believed the
would
reward
summon the
would come when the
scourge.
circles reunited.
A tyrant like
and selected a
Bakaro.
new king. While a usurper would summon the scourge. A tyrant like Bakaro.
How should I know how that blighter thinks? Lady Arabelle told me that he's the Ascendant Lord, which now
How
makes
should
sense.
I know how that blighter
As
thinks?
soon as he revealed his
Lady
treachery, his
Arabelle
knights
told me
threw
that
off
he's the
their
Ascendant
cloaks and
Lord,
revealed themselves
which
to
now
be the
makes
Ascendant
sense.
Order.
As soon as he revealed his treachery, his knights threw off their cloaks and revealed themselves to be the Ascendant Order.
I'm not sure. Other than Orlaith, no one...
In every way.
Everything I know tells me
I'm
the
not
Druid
sure.
King can command nature.
Other than Orlaith,
Wield
no-
it like
in
a
every
tool
way.
or a weapon. Everything I
If
know
the title
tells me
is
the
taken
Druid
by
King
force,
can command
the
nature.
prophecy tells us
Wield
it
it
begins
like
an
a tool
age of
or a
destruction.
weapon.
If the
The
title
Green
is taken
Scourge.
by force, the prophecy tells us it begins an age of destruction. The Green Scourge.
It's from the dream of Cassarain, the prophecy of the Druid King. One choice, one will.
It's from the dream of
one binding
Cassarain,
word.
the prophecy
shall
of
bless
the
or
Druid
scourge
King.
all lands.
One choice,
Since those
one
lines
will,
were carved into the
one
telling
binding
stone,
word
they've
shall
become the
bless or
basis for our
scourge
two
all
possible
lands.
futures. Since those lines were carved into the telling stone, the
They've
blessing of
become
the green
basis for our
reward,
two possible
or the
futures.
curse of the green scourge. One ushers in an age of
The
harmony
blessing
with
of the
nature.
green reward,
The
or
other
the
predicts
curse
a
of the
world
green
under
scourge.
siege by an angry and
One
vengeful
ushers in an
wilderness.
age of harmony with nature.
Two possibilities.
The other predicts a
One
world under
Druid King.
siege by an angry and vengeful wilderness. Two possibilities. One
The Druids have
King.
argued about that for generations. From what you found at Ivyheim, it's clear Cassarain
The Druids
believed
have
the
argued
reward
about
would
that
come
for
when the circles
generations.
reunited.
From
and
what you
selected
found
a
at
new king.
Ivyheim, it's
While
clear
a
Cassarain
usurper
believed the
would summon
reward
the
would come
scourge.
when the circles reunited,
A tyrant like
and selected a
Bakaro.
new king. While a usurper would summon the scourge. A tyrant like Bakaro.
How should I know how that blighter thinks? Lady Arabelle told me that he's the Ascendant Lord, which now makes
How
sense.
should I know how that blighter
As soon as
thinks?
he revealed his treachery,
Lady
his
Arabelle
knights
told me
threw
that
off
he's
their
the
cloaks and
Ascendant
revealed
Lord,
themselves
which
to be
now
the
makes
Ascendant
sense.
Order.
As soon as he revealed his treachery, his knights threw off their cloaks and revealed
I'm
themselves
not
to
sure.
be the Ascendant Order.
Other than Orlaith, no one else has ever attempted to claim the title. At least not
I'm
to
not
my
sure.
knowledge.
Other than
Is it
Orlaith,
enough
no
to
one
just
else has ever
possess
attempted
the
to claim
regalia?
the title.
Is that
At
why
least
he
not
needs
to my
free?
knowledge.
To legitimize
Is it
his
enough
claim?
to just possess the
I'm
regalia?
not sure.
Is
Still,
that why he needs free?
this is bad.
To legitimize his claim?
I'm not
In
sure.
every way. Still.
Everything I know tells
is
me the
bad.
Druid King can... It's from the dream of Cassarain.
In
The
every
prophecy of the Druid King.
Everything I know
One
tells me the
choice,
Druid King.
one will.
It's from the dream of
one binding
Cassarain.
word.
The
shall
prophecy
bless
of
or
the Druid
scourge
King.
all lands.
One choice.
Since those
one
lines were
will,
carved into the
one
telling
binding
stone,
word They've become the basis for our two possible futures. Since those lines were
The blessing of the green reward.
They've become the basis for our
We
two
lost
possible
Baccaro and
futures.
Ifre's path.
The blessing of the green
Lady
reward.
Arabelle is still out there. We lost Baccaro and Ifre's path. Lady Arabelle is still out there.
Over there. That's one of Lady Arabelle's companions.
Five
Over
Claw!
there.
Oh, thank
That's
you,
one of
moons.
Lady Arabelle's
The other-
companions.
Lady Arabelle is very brave. Barely recovered from nearly dying, and already chasing villains into a desolate and scary valley. Hurry, Five Claw. Recovered from you must dying, go help her. Already chasing villains into a desolate and scary valley. Hurry, Five Claw. You must go help her. Zaji decided to wait out here for you, Five Claw. Yes, Zaji waited to direct you. To wait out here for you, easy to get Five lost Claw. In such places. Yes, Zaji waited Lady Arabelle followed the Ascended Lord. It is easy to get lost in such places. Yes. Lady Arabelle followed the Ascendant Lord. Thank you, Five Claw. Zaji will go back to the Druid village and wait for you there. Look for Casca. She is a great tracker. If she hasn't found Baccaro yet, she will shortly. Look for Casca. She is a great tracker. If she hasn't found Baccaro yet, she will shortly.
Big mistake. Big mistake.
They went this way. They went this way. Look, that's the giant cat that accompanied Lady Arabelle. Look, that's the giant cat that accompanied Lady Arabelle.
What did you find? Let me see. What did you find? Let me see.
Good to smell you, Five Claw. Rivana thinks Baccaro came here for... Rivana told me to wait here. Good she wanted to make sure that Druid Laurel or whoever came after us knew where to go. Rivana told me to wait here. She wanted to make sure that Druid Laurel and followed Baccaro into Ifre's path. Baccaro left some knights behind to slow us down, but I took care of Baccaro into Ifre's Did you happen to see Zaji on your way here? Baccaro left some knights behind to slow us down, but I took care of them. Now that you're here, I'll head back too. I could be more helpful at the Druid village than in a cramped cavern. Now that you might believe this, but sometimes my size can be a hindrance. At the Druid village than in a cramped cavern. Just make sure to bite Baccaro a few times. But sometimes my size.
The ruins on the western wall of the hollow. That's got to be
make
where
sure to bite
everyone headed.
Baccaro a few times.
The ruins on the western wall of the hollow. That's got to be where everyone headed.
Doing something with magic-y? Doing something with magic-y?
Over here, my friend. Lady Arabelle followed them through that door. Lady Arabelle said you'd find us. Told me to wait here and point the way. She followed Bacaro, Lady Arabelle Lord, through that door over there. Told me to wait here and point the way. Go help her. Just speculation, really. Descendant Lord. Ifray's path over there is a sacred place. Go help her. And such locations contain power if you know how to draw upon it. Bacaro is going to need all the power he can get if he wants to press his claim as the Druid King. Bacaro is going to need all the power he can get if he wants to press his claim as the Druid King. The Stonelore Circle, at least, will never accept his claim. Not unless forced to. Not to mention the three alliances. Circle, at least, will never Bacaro is going to need more than the regalia and his small army of knights to accomplish his ultimate goal. Bacaro is going to need more than the regalia and his small army of knights to accomplish his ultimate goal. To rule all of Tamriel. She's definitely on the mend, but she should be resting. Running after the so-called Ascendant Lord can be hazardous to her condition in a number of ways. Running after the so-called Ascendant Lord can be hazardous to her condition in a number of ways. Go out.
That's Lady Arabelle. What's she doing?
Careful, dears, and watch where you step. Now, don't be alarmed, dear, but I happen to have stepped where I shouldn't have. I suppose I owe Druid Ravana an apology. Don't be alarmed, dear, but the lingering effects of the poison do seem to have made me somewhat discombobulated. The lingering effects of the poison do a pressure plate, I think. Some sort of trap put here who knows when and by who knows who. That can wait, though. I followed Lord Bacaro here. He met with a group of druids. Firesong, I think. He promised them vengeance against the Stonelore. He met with a group of druids. Firesong, I think. He promised them vengeance against the Stonelore. Yes, they were here. I couldn't quite tell if they were a prisoner or not. Bacaro did say he needed them to talk to Ifray's path. I couldn't quite tell if they were a prisoner. You need to go after them, my dear. Bacaro did say he needed them to talk to Ifray's path. Whatever that means. You need to go after them, my dear. Oh, I agree. But that's not going to be done quickly. And as long as I remain in place, we are all perfectly safe. But that's you go on ahead. Druid Laura can stay here and help me disarm this insidious contraption. You go on ahead. Druid Laura can stay here and help me disarm not a monstrous contraption. Go, my friend. Find Bacaro and free. See what I can do. Not a monster, dear lady. Go, my friend. Find Bacaro and free.
Someone approaches. Don't let them reach the ritual site. Someone approaches. Don't let them reach the ritual site.
the Stone Lord, servant of Ephraim, God for obey your king. Destroy the Stone Lord Circle and their allies.
I want to examine these carvings. Interesting. An old druidic summoning chamber. I want to examine these carvings.
Damn my clumsiness. If not for the fact that we were delayed by that trap, we could have been here to help you with that creature. Then maybe Lord Bacaro wouldn't have been able to slip away. We could have been here to help you with that creature. Then maybe Lord Bacaro. I assume this was at least in part a test of sorts, to see if he could actually call forth a spirit and command it. I assume this was at least he wanted to prove to his followers that he is worthy of the Druid King's regalia and command it. Plus, he wanted to prove to his followers that he is worthy of the Druid King's somewhere regalia. He could further strengthen and consolidate his power, especially since he knows we're onto him. Druid Laura is examining the stone carvings. Perhaps they can tell us something. Since he knows we're onto him. Take a look and talk to her, dear. Druid Laura is examining the stone carvings.
These carvings tell an interesting story. Take a look, my friend.
And talk to her, dear.
These carvings tell an interesting story. Take a look, my friend. This carving shows the Druid King binding a spirit into Mount Firesong. This carving shows the Druid King binding a spirit into Mount Firesong. This carving depicts the spirit slumbering within the volcano. See the Druid King's regalia? This carving depicts the spirit slumbering within the volcano. See the Druid King's regalia? This carving indicates a possible future. See how the spirit awakens and the volcano erupts? It's a warning. This carving indicates a possible future. I always say,
when someone gives you a warning, it's best to take heed.
It's a warning.
I always say, when someone gives you a warning, it's best to take heed.
Ancient druids called upon the spirits of the green at their own peril. Only the Druid King was ever able to do so safely. Ancient druids called upon the spirits of the green at their own peril. It's why we abandoned the practice long ago. This is where they did it. Was ever able to at least where some of them did it. It's why we abandoned the practice long ago. This is where they did it. At least like so much of the ancient knowledge that remains, these carvings are open to interpretation. Obviously, we can see the spirits of the green that remains, forces of nature in the bosom of Ifray. Then we see a spirit slumbering beneath Mount Firesong, forces of nature in the bosom of Ifray. Then we see a spirit slumbering beneath Mount Firesong. Very much so. And the spirit must be extremely powerful due to how sacred Mount Firesong is. Very much so. I think that's what the final carving tells us. Let the sleeping spirit lie. Sacred Mount Firesong is. For generations, that's been one of the Firesong's primary purposes. Let the sleeping spirit lie. I think Bacaro plans to call forth the spirit of Mount Firesong with the Druid King's regalia. With a spirit of that magnitude, the armies of Tamriel won't stand a chance. Go to Vastir and tell Steph.
If we're going to stop Bacaro, we're going to need help. Go to Castle Mornard and rally Count Stefan's knights. If we're going to stop I'll make sure the rest of us are ready. Go to Castle Mornard and rally Count Stefan's knights. I'll make sure the rest of us are ready.
didn't want to walk. Oh, good. I didn't want to walk.
Step lightly, will you? Step lightly, will you?
I thought our troubles were over after all the death and destruction, but something worse is coming, Feda.
I feel it
I thought
too.
our troubles were over after
Like
all
a
the
dark
death and
storm on the
destruction, but
horizon.
I'm worried worse is coming. I don't think...
I feel it too. Like a dark storm on the horizon.
I'm worried, Feda. I don't think...
I hope you'll reconsider. This threat endangers us all.
The Gilded Blades aren't
hope you'll
mercenaries to
reconsider.
call on to clean up
This
your
threat
mess, Count Stefan.
endangers us all.
The Gilded Blades aren't mercenaries to call on to clean up your mess, Count Stefan.
My knights are ready, but Captain Siravain isn't convinced she wants to join us in this particular fight. But never mind that.
My
Is
knights
Druid
are
Laurel
ready, but
all right?
Captain Siravain
Is the
isn't
Sacred
convinced
Staff
she
safe?
wants
to join us in this particular fight. But never mind that. Is Druid Laurel all right? Is the Sacred Staff safe? Damn it all to oblivion. At least Laurel is all right. I've assembled what knights I can spare, but we could
Damn it all
really
to
use
oblivion.
Siravain and the Gilded Blades. At least Laurel
Maybe
is
you
all
can
right.
convince her to help.
I've assembled what knights I can spare, but we could really use Siravain and the Gilded Blades. Maybe you can convince her to help. I'd appreciate it. I've been banging my head against that particular wall for hours now. Remind her that if Lord Bacaro takes control of the archipelago, any safe ports she has on Galen will evaporate like a drop of water in a hot skillet. Control of the archipelago, any safe ports she has on Galen will evaporate like a drop of water in a hot skillet.
I can never get enough of the food you landbound eat. It's so delicious.
I
The Lordling sent you over to convince me to help, didn't he? My answer is the same.
Delicious.
Why should I care about your
The
political
Lordling
drama?
sent
You over to convince me to help, didn't he? My answer is the same.
And that
Why
concerns
should I care
me
about
how,
your political
exactly?
drama? If druids want a king or not, that's their business, not mine.
And that
Sea Lord
concerns me
Nalos
how,
was my problem,
exactly?
and I took care of it.
If druids want a
What
king
happens
or
on
not,
Galen
that's
next
their business,
doesn't
not
matter to
mine.
me. Sea Lord Nalos was my problem, and I took care of it. Just
What
because
happens
our
on Galen
purposes
next
aligned once
doesn't matter to
doesn't
me.
mean we'll sail side by side forever, mercenary. We both wanted
Just
Nalos
because
dead,
our
and now
purposes
he
aligned
is.
once
That was a
doesn't
win
mean
for
we'll
both of
sail
us.
side by side forever,
I'd need a more
mercenary.
compelling
We
reason
both
to
wanted
risk my
Nalos
crew
dead, and now
again. He is. That was a win for both of us. I'd need a more compelling reason to risk my crew again. That is certainly something I hadn't considered. I do like the safe haven that the Lordling has provided us with. Certainly something I hadn't considered. And what was that about allies? I do like the safe haven is working with the files provided us with. All right, you convinced me. My ship is yours for now. All right, you convinced me. My ship is yours for now.
I knew you'd come around, Siravain. Let's meet at the Vastir docks. I knew you'd come around, Siravain. Let's meet at the Vastir docks.
Illumins are not to blame. Yeah! Illumins are not. Yeah! 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 Yeah!
Come, dear. We have... Laurel, Ravana, and I talked during the voyage. If Lord Bacaro truly means to awaken the spirit of the volcano, he's going to need to do it from inside Mount Firesong. And since he knows we're coming, he'll throw everything he has in our way. And since he knows we're coming, he'll throw everything he has in our way. Sleight of hand, my dear. Count Stefan and Captain Sirivane landed farther up the beach, while our allies draw attention at the main entrance. You and I will follow in their wake and find another way into the mountain. You and I will follow in their wake. Laura wasn't sure, but she thinks she remembers a cave to the right of the main entrance. Let's search around. If nothing else presents itself, she remembers a cave to the right of the main entrance. Let's search around. If nothing else presents itself, we'll...
The Ascendant Order's forces pulled back to the main entrance into the mountain. Sirivane and her pirates went after them. The Ascendant Order's forces pulled back to the main entrance into the mountain. Sirivane and her pirates went after them.
Good to get the blood pumping, right? Feels good to get the blood pumping, right?
These Ascendant Order barnacles are cowards. They flee at the first sign of a worthy opponent. These Ascendant Order barnacles are cowards. They flee at the first sign of a worthy opponent.
The cave Laurel suggested. It must be behind those vines. Should be just ahead. The cave Laurel suggested. It must be behind those vines. This tunnel cuts deep into the mountain. Hopefully it will lead us to Lord Bacaro. This tunnel cuts deep into the mountain. Firesong Druid will lead us to Lord Proceed Bacaro. With caution, dear.
The Druid King calls forth the spirit of the volcano.
Firesong Druid, proceed with caution, dear. Bacaro has started. We have to hurry. Bacaro is started. We have to hurry.
Bet they weren't expecting that.
The volcano is becoming more active. The lava is rising.
Bet they weren't expecting that.
The volcano is becoming more active. The lava is rising. Look over there. That's Druid Laurel's nature spirit. We have to help her. Look over there. That's Druid Laurel's nature spirit. We have to help her.
Don't stop, my brothers and sisters. The spirit of the volcano stirs. Don't stop, my brothers and sisters. The spirit of the volcano stirs.
Oh, they did it!
Thank you, friends. The volcano spirit has awakened. Keep them back while I sing.
The lava is rising. We don't have much time.
Keep them back while I sing.
The lava is rising. We don't have much time.
No, friends! Step into the wind vortex! No, friends! Step into the wind vortex!
Lord Bacaro truly is insane. Stay with Bree, my friend. I need to warn the others. Lord Bacaro truly is insane.
The False King is
Stay with
farther
Bree,
up the
my
mountain.
friend.
I will
need
help
to
in any
warn
way
the
I can.
others.
The False King is farther up the mountain. I will help in any way I can.
very mountain obeys me. The spirit of the volcano sends your avatars to destroy my enemies.
Yes?
An end to this stupid war, and something better than the
Yes?
fire song. Give me the power to destroy my enemies. I have to declare the ascendant Lord, the druid king. Soon, the alliances will be nothing but cinders and ash.
Join the spirit. Now the volcano will follow its nature. It will explode. Over here. I will summon another wind vortex. Follow its nature. It will explode. Over here. I will summon another wind vortex. The false king is farther up the mountain. I will help in any way I can. The false king is farther up the mountain. I will help in any way I can. I will help in any way I can. has no spirit to calm it down. The spirit of Mount Firesong fled when the false king is gone, but so is the spirit of the mountain. Without a spirit to calm it, Mount Firesong's rage will continue. The false king is gone, but so is the spirit of the mountain. Without a spirit to perhaps, if the balance is restored, a new spirit must fill the void in Mount Firesong's heart. Perhaps I will be that spirit. Restored. A new spirit. It means I will calm the volcano before it destroys the archipelago. I will attempt to contain most of the damage to Ipholon. It means I will calm. But I will need your help, friend of Laurel. Attempt to contain most of the damage to Ipholon. Place the regalia to form a circle around me. Friend of Laurel. Then command me to bind myself to the mountain. You are not the druid. Place the regalia to form. But with the regalia and my willingness, then command me to bind myself to the mountain. Then I will do what I can to quiet the volcano. But with the regalia and I will remain. But I will be different. As the seed becomes a tree, I shall become the spirit of the mountain. But I will be different. And I will slumber. As the seed becomes a tree, I shall become. Now take the crown and the gauntlet and place them around me. And I will slumber. As well Mount Firesong. Now take the crown and the gauntlet and place them around me. Quickly, friend. Place the gauntlet and crown to form a ritual circle. Quickly, friend. Place the gauntlet and crown to form a ritual circle. Now free is the spirit of Mount Firesong. Now the volcano will be still. Goodbye, friend. Free is the spirit of Mount Firesong. Now the volcano.
The volcano erupted, but except for the top of the mountain, Ipholon is intact. I very much want to hear what happened, dear. The volcano erupted. I got everyone back to the ship before the volcano fully erupted. But even so, I'm surprised we're all still alive. Care to enlighten us about what happened inside Mount Firesong, dear? But even so, I'm surprised we're all still alive. Free was able to contain all that inside Mount Firesong. They saved the archipelago, the Alliance leaders, all of us. But where's Free now? Why didn't they return with you? They saved you said they took the place of the Alliance leaders. What does that mean? But where's Free now? Why didn't they return with you? Oh, you said they took the place of the spirit. Their sacrifice saved us all. I'll remember them fondly for that. It's just as well. As long as the druids remain divided, they aren't ready for a new king. And I'm not sure how Emmerich and the others would react to another royal in their midst. Well, talk to our friends, dear. Then we should return to Bastia. Emmerich and the others would react to another royal in their midst. Well, talk to our friends, dear. Then we should return to Bastia.
That's a whale of a story, mercenary. But I think I prefer having you with me than against me. That's a whale of a story, mercenary. You have the respect of the Gilded Blades, and you with me than against me. So, at least for now, you have the respect of the Gilded Blades and their captain. The Gilded Blades handled themselves well, as always. And when Lady Arabelle sounded the warning, we headed to the nearest ship and the Gilded Blades handled themselves well. That happened to be this one. And when Lady Arabelle
And your spirit friend
decided to stay behind? Is that true? That happened to be this one. And your spirit friend decided to stay behind? Is that true?
Intense. Can't say I'd have done the same, but I can respect someone willing to give up their life to save others.
Intense.
It isn't particularly the sea elf way, but I can respect someone. I think I'll drink to free whenever I sail past the mountain. It isn't particularly the sea elf way, but I think I'll drink to free whenever I sail past the mountain.
I'm glad you were with Free inside the mountain, my friend. I'll never forget what they did to save us all. I'm glad you were with Free inside the mountain. Free isn't gone, friend. They've just become something more. As a tree grows from seed to sapling to massive oak, isn't gone, friend. So too has Free transformed. They've just become something more. They're still with us. As a tree grows from Mount Fire sapling to massive oak, keeping us safe from the power of the volcano. Transformed. They're still with us. Whenever you want to see Free in Mount Fire just look toward Mount Fire keeping us safe from the power. They're a part of it now. The spirit of the mountain. Whenever you want to see I need to tell the druids what happened here. Toward Mount Fire Song. Let them learn. They're a part last of it lesson now. The sower had to teach us. The spirit of the mountain. Sacrifice. I need to tell the druids what happened here. Let them learn.
I'm sorry we couldn't figure another way to get out of this. Free shouldn't have had to sacrifice themselves to save the rest of us. I'm sorry we couldn't figure another way to get out of this. Now maybe we can finally start to rebuild Galen. Themselves to save the rest of us. I'm just glad you stopped Bakaro. Now maybe we can finally start to rebuild all this death and destruction because Bakaro wanted to dig up some ancient Breton legacy. If I learned anything from my time with the Druids, death and destruction because it's that they don't need a king or a prophecy to make the world a better place. If I learned anything from my time with the Druids, it's that they don't need a king or a prophecy to make the world a better place. But that legacy isn't crowns and gauntlets. It's people, born of humans and elves to become something altogether new. But that legacy isn't it's magic, druids, and knightly orders. That's the Breton legacy I believe in. To become something altogether new. It's the best of us. It's magic, druids, and knightly orders. That's the Breton legacy I believe in. It's the best of us.
Our troubles were over after all the death and destruction, but something worse is coming, Feda.
I feel it too.
I thought our troubles were over after all the death and destruction, but something worse is coming, Feda.
I feel it too.
Over here, my dear. Count Stefan and I have something for you. You're really making a habit out of saving the archipelago. Over here, my dear. And of aiding Count me. Stefan and I Thanks to you, we revealed Lord Bakaro as a traitor. You're really saved the islands from an erupting volcano and ended the threat of the false druid king. To you, well done, my dear. As a traitor. Saved the islands from an erupting volcano and ended the threat of the false druid king. Don't worry about them. Without a leader, they'll quickly fade away. Now we just need to proceed with the peace talks. We're back on track and the archipelago is safe thanks to you. Without a leader, they'll quickly fade away. Count Stefan and I wanted you to have it. We're back on track and the archipelago is safe, but the work isn't finished yet. Now take this. I could use a hand if you're still so inclined. While
We
I
did well,
return to
Dick,
High Isle
but the
and
work
make final
isn't
preparations
finished
for the peace talks
I
to
could
commence,
use a hand if you're
I'd
still
like
so
you to help
inclined.
Druid Laurel with one more
While
thing.
I return to
when
High
you're finished,
Isle and make final
meet me at
preparations
Mandrake
for the
Manor.
peace talks to commence, I'd like you to help
I'll
Druid
let her
Laurel
give you the
with
details.
one more thing.
I will say
when
this,
you're finished,
though. You've
meet me
certainly
at
made an
Mandrake
impression
Manor.
on the Stone Lord Druid's there. I'll let her give you the details.
I will
Druid
say
Laurel
this,
will
though.
tell you what she
You've
needs.
certainly made an
Just don't
impression
dawdle.
on the Stone Lord
Finish
Druid's
things
there.
here, then meet me on High Isle. We've had the
Druid
Alliance
Laurel
leaders
will tell
waiting
you what she
quite long
needs.
enough,
Just don't
and I have
dawdle.
to make some arrangements
Finish
with the
things here,
Society of
then
the
meet me
Steadfast
on
High Isle. We've had the Alliance leaders waiting quite long enough. Despite
and
Lord
I have to
Bakar's
make some
betrayal, the
arrangements with the
Society has done
Society
good
of the
work here in the
Steadfast.
Sisters and back in Tamriel. I'd hate to lose that,
Despite
but you're
Lord
quite
Bakar's
correct.
betrayal,
I
the
need
Society
to
has done
determine if
good
the
work here
Society
in
is
the Sisters
trustworthy and back in Tamriel. I'd
I'll
hate to lose that,
meeting with
but
Captain
you're
Marguerite.
quite correct. The Society
I need
attracted
to
many good
determine if
people
the
who have done a
Society
lot
is
of good work.
trustworthy.
I won't see that die with Bakaro.
I'll start by meeting with
I
Captain
want the
Marguerite.
organization to
The
continue.
Society
if at all
attracted many
possible.
good
people who have done a lot of good work. I won't see that die with Bakaro. I want the
Galen and the
organization to
entire
continue if at all
archipelago owe you a
possible.
debt, my friend. You have my thanks.
The Druids will never forget what you and Free
Galen
did
and the
to save
entire
us.
archipelago owe you a debt, my friend. You have my thanks.
Lady Arabelle said she could spare you,
will never
and I
forget what you
appreciate
and
the
Free
help.
did to save us.
Before Free was taken by Lord Bakaro, they gave me something. Told
Lady
me what to do
Arabelle
with it
said
if they
she could
didn't
spare you,
return.
and I appreciate the
I
help.
thought Free was just being
Before
cautious.
Free was taken by Lord Bakaro,
but I think
they
they
gave me
knew.
something.
Told me what to do with it if they didn't return. I thought Free was just being cautious, but I think they knew. That they weren't coming back. Free gave me a pouch of soil. They said it was special. That they prepared it as part of their purpose.
That they weren't coming back.
You remember how Free would go on
Free
and on
gave
about
me a
that.
pouch of soil.
Anyway,
They said it was special.
They asked me to do
that.
They asked me
prepared
to
it as
go to
part
the
of their
overlook
purpose.
north of Glimmerton.
You remember how Free
to
would
sprinkle
go
the
on and on
soil from
about
the
that.
pouch there.
Anyway,
I made a promise.
They asked me to do.
And I'd like
they
you to
asked me
fulfill
go
it
to
with
the
me.
overlook north of Glimmerton.
I think Free would want you to be a
sprinkle
part
the
of
soil
this.
from the pouch there.
Will you help me, friend?
I made a promise, and I'd like you to fulfill it with me.
I think Free would want you to be a part of this. Will you help me, friend? Here, take the pouch of soil. There's a beautiful tree by the overlook, tall and majestic. I think that's the
Here,
perfect place to honor
take the
Free's
pouch of
wishes.
soil.
I'll meet you
There's
there.
a beautiful tree by the overlook, tall and majestic.
I think that's the perfect place to honor Free's wishes. I'll meet you there. Free said they spent a long time preparing it. That it was a part of them, a part of Galen, a part of the Druids.
Free said they
I
spent
don't
a
know
long
if they
time
meant that
preparing
literally
it,
or figuratively.
that it was a part of them.
It wasn't always easy
part
to
of
understand
Galen,
Free and the
a
ways
part
of a
the
nature
Druids.
spirit.
I don't know if they meant that literally or figuratively.
It wasn't always easy to understand
Free
Free
enjoyed
and the
sitting
ways
under
of a
it.
nature spirit.
I think they felt a connection to it, but I'm not really sure.
The ways of nature spirits are
Free
very
enjoyed
different from the
sitting
things
under
we
it.
know.
I think
They
they
said
felt
to
a
sprinkle the
connection to it,
soil,
but
and
I'm
I
not
think
really
Free
sure.
said they spent a long
The
time
ways of nature
preparing it.
spirits are very different
That it was a
from the
part
things
of
we
them,
know.
a part
They
of
said
Galen.
to sprinkle the
Free
soil,
enjoyed sitting
and
under
I-
it.
Free said they
I
spent
think they felt a
long
connection
time
to
preparing
it, but I'm not
that
really
it was
sure.
a part of them.
The ways
part
of
of
nature
Galen.
spirits are
Free
very
enjoyed
different from the
sitting
things
under
we
it.
know.
I think
They
they
said
felt
to
a
sprinkle the
connection to it,
soil,
but
and
I'm
I
not
think
really
that's the
sure.
perfect place to do it.
The ways of nature spirits are very different from the things we know. They said to
Free
sprinkle
said
the
they
soil,
spent a long
and
time
I think
preparing
that's
it.
the perfect place to do
That
it.
it was a part of them, a part of Galen, a part of the Druids.
Free said they
I
spent a
don't know
long
if they
time
meant that
preparing
literally
it,
or figuratively.
that it was a part of
It
them.
wasn't always easy
a
to
part of
understand
Galen,
Free and the
a
ways
part of the
Free
Druids.
enjoyed sitting under it.
I don't know if they
I
meant
think
that
they felt a
literally or
connection to it,
figuratively,
but I'm not
it
really
wasn't
sure.
always easy to understand
The
Free
ways of
and the
nature
ways-
spirits are
Free
very
enjoyed
different from the
sitting
things
under
we
it.
know.
I think
They said
felt
to
a
sprinkle the
connection to it,
soil, and
but
I
I'm
think
not
that's
really
the
sure.
perfect place to do it.
The ways of nature spirits are very different from the things we
Free
know.
said they spent a
They
long
said to
time
sprinkle the
preparing it,
soil, and
that
I
it
think
was a
that's
part
the
of them,
perfect place to do
a
it.
part of Galen, a part of the Druids. Free said they spent a long time. I don't know if they meant that literally or figuratively. That it was a part of them. It wasn't always easy to understand Free and the ways of a nature spirit. I don't know if they meant that literally or figuratively. It wasn't always easy to understand Free and the ways of a nature spirit. Free enjoyed sitting at. Free said they spent a long time preparing it. That it was a part of them, a part of Galen, a part of the Druids. Free said they spent a long time. I don't know if they meant that literally or figuratively. That it was a part of them. It wasn't always easy to understand Free and the ways of a nature spirit. I don't know if they meant that literally or figuratively. It wasn't always easy to understand Free enjoyed sitting under it. The ways of a nature spirit. I think they felt a connection to it, but I'm not really sure. The ways of nature spirits are very different from the things we know. They said to sprinkle the soil, and I think that's the perfect place to do it. The ways of nature spirits are very different from the things we know. They said they spent a long time preparing it, and I think that's the perfect place to do it. Free said they spent a long time preparing it. Free said they spent.
I don't seem to be making much progress. I don't seem to be making much progress.
Rogue knights, druid prophecies, erupting volcanoes. If it's not one thing, it's another. Surely the mainland doesn't have these kinds of prophecies, erupting volcanoes. If it's not one thing, it's another. Surely the mainland doesn't have these kinds of.
That's the tree. Free was quite fond of it. Go ahead and sprinkle the soil around its base. That's the tree. Free was quite fond of it. Go ahead and sprinkle the soil around its base. I thought for sure something would happen, but this is wonderful. Friend, let me tell you what Free has done. I thought for sure something would happen, but this is wonderful. Did you see what happened, friend? Let me tell you what Free asked us to do with that pouch of soil? It's a miracle. Of course. After everything you've done for us, I still forget sometimes that you're not a druid. Free had a special connection to the sacred seeds. Of course. They used their power as a nature spirit, as the sower, to put some of that magic into the soil. It means that the sacred seeds aren't gone. Their power as that the Druid King's regalia will return. Put some of that magic into the soil. Until that time, we'll need to protect this tree. Seeds aren't gone. Nurture it. That the Druid King's I'll make sure that all the circles know. Someday. We'll find a way to do it together. Until that time, we'll need Trust has to start somewhere. Nurture it. But we still need to gather the elders and form a new Drafa. We'll find a way to do it together. I'll broach the subject. Trust has to start. In the meantime, I'll commune with the tree. We still need to gather the growing seeds and form a new Drafa. And I'll be here when they finally blossom. I'll broach the subject. In the meantime, I'll commune with the tree. I think that's everything, my friend. And I'll be here. Thanks again for helping me honor Free's request. I hope they find peace and happiness inside the volcano. I think that's everything, my friend. Anyway, thanks again for helping me honor Free's request. I think you should head back to High Isle now. I know Lady Arabelle is eager to begin the talks inside the volcano. Free made their decision. Anyway, without their sacrifice, head back to High Isle now. I know Lady Arabelle is eager to begin the talks. Free made their decision. Without their sacrifice. Oh.
I assure you, Lady Arabelle, I'm more committed than ever to the Society of the Steadfast's mission of peace.
I'm glad to hear you say that,
I assure
Captain.
you, Lady Arabelle,
Ah, good,
I'm
you're
more
back.
committed than ever to the Society of the Steadfast's
Captain
mission
Marguerite
of
and I were
peace.
just having the most
I'm glad to
illuminating
hear you
discussion
say
here.
that, Captain.
Other than some misdirection at the end, Lord Bacaro never allowed his clandestine activities with the Ascendant Order to spill over into the Society of the Steadfast. Lord Bacaro never allowed his clandestine
Captain Marguerite's
activities with the
reputation
Ascendant
is
Order
impeccable,
to spill
and I've
over
begun to
into
study
the
their
Society
ledger.
of the Steadfast.
Nothing is amiss.
Yes, dear,
I'll
I
get
am.
someone I trust
Captain
to perform a
Marguerite's
thorough
reputation is
investigation,
impeccable,
but the
and
Society
I've
has
begun
done
to
too
study
much
their
good to
ledgers.
shut it down now.
Nothing is amiss.
Just
I'll get
about.
someone I trust
Preparations
to
are
perform a thorough
underway at All
investigation,
Flags Island.
but the Society
But
has
I
done
have a
too
task
much
for you.
good to shut
I'd
it
like
down
you to
now.
invite Count Stefan,
Just
Druid
about.
Laurel, and Druid
Preparations are
Ravana for
underway
the
at
talks.
All Flags
They
Island,
deserve to have a
but I
voice
have
in the
a task for
proceedings.
you. I'd
Captain
like you to invite
Zati and
Count
Casca,
Stefan,
too.
Druid Laurel, and Druid Ravana for the talks. They deserve to have a voice in the proceedings.
I think
Captain
Zati and
Zati
Casca
and
should get to
Casca,
see the
too.
negotiations unfold, but to have them participate, oh goodness, no, dear. So, invite
think Zati
Stefan,
and
Laurel,
Casca
and the
should get to
rest.
see the
And remind
negotiations
Stefan
unfold,
I'm depending
but
on
to
Count
have them participate,
Count Stefan will be
oh
at Castle
goodness, no,
Mornard,
dear.
and Druid Laurel
So,
should be in the
invite
Vines
Stefan,
district
Laurel,
in
and the rest.
Bastille.
And remind
Zati's
Stefan
likely
I'm
at the
depending on
docks here in
Count-
Gonfalon Bay,
Count Stefan will be
and
at
Druid
Castle
Ravana
Mornard,
is at her
and Druid
workshop
Laurel
here on
should be
High
in the
Isle,
Vines
just
district
west
in
of the city.
Bastille.
We've been
likely
trying
at
to get the
docks
leaders
here
of
in
all three
Gonfalon
alliances
Bay,
to the table
and
since
Druid
this whole
Ravana
affair
is at her
began.
workshop here
It's
on
been
High Isle,
sponsored by
just
this
west of the city.
We've been trying to get the leaders of all three alliances to the table since this whole affair began. It's been sponsored by the society.
Well, well, blight it all. We have blight and damnation. Trying to get the druid circles to agree on anything is like trying to herd fawns.
But you're not here to deal with my problems. Not this time. What can I do for you, my friend? To agree on anything is like after you just saw my negotiating skills in action. You're not here to deal with my problems. Wait, not this time. Serious? What can I do for you, my friend? Well, why not? Really? I definitely want. You just saw my negotiating skills in action. Wait, you're serious? Yeah! Well, why not? I definitely want.
Rogue knights, druid prophecies, erupting volcanoes. If it's not one thing, it's another.
Surely the mainland doesn't have these kinds of problems.
Erupting
The mainlander hero was around to lend a hand.
It's another. I'm seriously reconsidering my decision to move to the archipelago.
Was all this bloodshed really the result of a druidic prophecy, Galfin?
I'm afraid so, Feda. Sometimes religious conviction can drive even the best of us.
Was all this bloodshed really the result of a druidic prophecy, Galfin?
I'm afraid so, Feda. Sometimes religious conviction can drive even the best of us.
Captain Marguerite was as good as her word. Get those supplies distributed at once.
Right away, Count Stefan.
Friend, welcome back. Captain Marguerite was as good as her word. Get those supplies distributed at once.
Right away, Count Stefan.
Friend, welcome back to Castle Mornard.
I'm still not sure why they called me here. Patrons who need my attention.
Druids never seem to wipe their feet.
Captain Marguerite was as good as her word. Get those supplies distributed at once.
Right away, Count Stefan.
Friend, welcome back to
Captain
Castle
Marguerite
Mornard. Was as good as her word. Get those supplies distributed at once.
Right away, Count Stefan.
Friend, welcome back to Castle Mornard.
the moment Queen Irene calls for us.
The bounce is ready. I could use some quiet time for a change.
Maybe you spoke too soon. Always a pleasure, Five Claw. But you also tend to bring trouble to Zaji. And more work. So what is... Zaji and Casca are invited? Well, as expected, of course. After all Zaji has done, it is only natural to want him there to observe. And to keep the Queen and the others safe. Well, as expected, of course. Zaji and Casca will leave for the islet at once. There is always a chance, Five Claw. It may be very, very small. Zaji and Casca will leave for the islet at once. There is always a chance, Five Claw. It may be very, very small.